Yahoo News. Yahoo News. Sign in. Search query. Advertisement. Top stories. 70. Trump suspends military aid to Ukraine after Oval Office dust-up. Australian man whose blood saved 2.4 million babies dies at 88. Massive search underway for missing 2-year-old boy in Oregon. Pope suffers 2 episodes of acute respiratory failure, Vatican says. Online jobs in USA from Pakistan. Salaries will surprise you. Online jobs in USA. Search ads. Ad. Unusually powerful storm threatens to create blizzard, fires as it crosses U.S. Dems are bringing special guests to Trump's speech, fired federal workers. Bad psychedelic trips linked to increased risk of death within 5 years, scientists find. 1/8. For you. U.S. Associated Press. Head of FBI New York office says he's retired from the bureau after being ordered to do so. 3 minutes read. MSCJGNS.com. Ad. Animals show their humans who's boss in these priceless photos. Business fortune. Kroger CEO resigns from $150 billion grocery chain over certain personal conduct, forfeiting 2024 bonus. 3 minutes read. World Associated Press. A driver rams a car into crowd in Germany's Mannheim, leaving 2 dead and 11 injured. 3 minutes read. World Associated Press. New Zealand lawmakers told to stop complaining about use of the country's Maori name in parliament. 4 minutes read. Advertisement. Advertisement. Business Moneywise. Tony Robbins calls on Americans to get head out of the sand, and says Social Security isn't enough, urging action. 4 minutes read. USWT-TV, Indianapolis. Video pit football player, HSE grad dies in Fisher's crash. Business Reuters. Albertsons appoints insider to top role as CEO Vivek Sankaran to retire. 2 minutes read. Expert Inspector. Ad. Click here. 2025 top trending search, local network access. Business Benzinga. NBA legend Shaq says his net worth quadrupled once he took note from Jeff Bezos and started investing in things that change people's lives. 4 minutes read. Politics. The Hill. Canadian Premier says he will cut off electricity exports to U.S., with a smile on my face. 2 minutes read. World Associated Press. Japan won't join UN meeting on nuclear weapons ban, citing support for U.S. deterrence. 2 minutes read. Sign in to get more. Sign in or join Yahoo to personalize your news feed and get updates across devices. Sign in. Sign up. Something went wrong. Try again. Refresh page. Close this content. You can also use the escape key at any time. Advertisement. Top stories. Oscars highlights. Oscars red carpet. Wildfires in Carolinas. Edible invasive species. Daylight saving time. No by 2025 feet movement. What mummification means. Gene Hackman death. Andrew Tate charges. February 28 economic blackout. Trump pauses aid to Ukraine after Zelensky clash. Danny Kemp. Tuesday, March 4, 2025 at 9:27 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time plus 54 minutes read. 7.3K. Ukraine is in a difficult spot with uncertain U.S. support against Russia's 3-year invasion. Tetiana Dzhafarova. Tetiana Dzhafarova. AFP. U.S. President Donald Trump suspended military aid to Ukraine on Monday, a White House official said, sharply escalating pressure on Kyiv to agree to peace negotiations with Russia. The move comes just days after a stunning public clash between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Trump, who is seeking a rapid end to the war. Trump earlier on Monday had declined to rule out a pause when quizzed by reporters, but any disruption in the flow of U.S. arms to the front line would rapidly weaken Ukraine's chance of beating back Russia's invasion. The president has been clear that he is focused on peace. We need our partners to be committed to that goal as well, a White House official told AFP, speaking on condition of anonymity. We are pausing and reviewing our aid to ensure that it is contributing to a solution, the official added. Congressional Democrats immediately condemned the pause as dangerous and illegal. My Republican colleagues who have called Putin a war criminal and promised their continued support to Ukraine must join me in demanding President Trump immediately lift this disastrous and unlawful freeze, said Gregory Meeks, top Democrat on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Trump also warned he would not put up much longer with Zelensky's defiance, and said Ukraine's leader should be more appreciative of U.S. support. Speaking at the White House, Trump said Zelensky won't be around very long without a ceasefire deal with Moscow. The pause has gone into effect immediately and impacts hundreds of millions of dollars of weaponry in the process of being sent to Ukraine, the New York Times reported. Zelensky for his part said Monday he was seeking for the war to end, as soon as possible. The comment came after Zelensky accused Russia, which invaded Ukraine in 2014 and greatly expanded the conflict in 2022, of not being serious about peace. He insisted tough security guarantees were the only way to end the war. But Trump's stance has upended U.S. support for Ukraine, and Washington's allies more broadly, and stoked concern about Washington pivoting to Russia. European support. After weekend crisis talks in London, Britain and France are investigating how to propose a one-month Ukraine-Russia truce, in the air, at sea and on energy infrastructure, potentially backstopped by troops on the ground. Zelensky said discussions were still focusing on the first steps, adding, an agreement on ending the war is very, very far away, a comment that angered Trump. Zelensky added in a video statement that real, honest peace would only come with security guarantees for Ukraine, which agreed to denuclearize in 1994 only in exchange for protection provided by the United States and Britain. It was the lack of security guarantees for Ukraine 11 years ago that allowed Russia to start with the occupation of Crimea and the war in Donbass, then the lack of security guarantees allowed Russia to launch a full-scale invasion, Zelensky said. Russia dismissed the comments, accusing him of not wanting peace, echoing U.S. criticism after he was shouted down Friday in the Oval Office. On the ground, Ukrainian officials reported fatalities from a Russian missile strike on a military training facility some 130 kilometers, 80 miles, from the front line. A respected military blogger said between 30 and 40 soldiers were killed and 90 more wounded in the attack near Dnipro on Saturday. Deliberate escalation. Trump has previously called Zelensky, president since 2019, a dictator, for not holding elections, even though martial law precludes any vote because of the war. Zelensky dismissed calls for him to resign, repeating his pledge to do so only if Ukraine were given NATO membership, which Russia, and now the United States under Trump, opposes. In Moscow, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov blamed Zelensky for Friday's blow-up with Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, saying he demonstrated a complete lack of diplomatic abilities. He doesn't want peace, Peskov told reporters. On Monday Vance told broadcaster Fox News he was confident Zelensky would, eventually, agree to peace talks with Moscow. I think Zelensky wasn't yet there, and I think, frankly, now still isn't there, Vance said. But I think he'll get there eventually. He has to. But Germany's likely next chancellor, Friedrich Merz, said the astonishing White House clash was a deliberate escalation by Trump. U.S. and Russian officials have held talks on ending the war, enraging Kyiv and Europe for being sidelined, and prompting fears that any deal could threaten Ukraine's future. DKFT JGC per Milli Lumen.